Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Black Angel by Graham Masterton. I did this with Faceless Book Reviews as a buddy read, and I will try to keep this video around the 10-minute mark because I know that's that's roughly the same length as his video is going to be. So I have read a couple of Graham's books before, Manitou and The Children That God Forgot, and yeah, I suggested Graham Masterton as a possible author that we could read for a horror based thing, and he sent me a list of them and Black Angel was one of them, so I thought I would choose this one. I've read it before, and this was completely blind. I did enjoy it. We both had roughly the same experience and thoughts about the book and about the story. He did finish it before me, but because I'm reading other stuff, I was a bit behind, so I had to catch up. But yeah, so we kind of read it out of order. I mean, he finished it ages ago, and then I barely started it, so yeah. But it's just how it goes, I guess. So this is going to be my own thoughts and feelings regarding this book, and I guess in a way Graham Masterton's writing style, and this is going to be a spoiler-free-ish video. I'll try and make it as spoiler-free as I can, guys. So this book revolves around a serial killer called the Fog City Satan. And he has been going around committing these terrible and horrific murders on families. It doesn't really seem to have any patterns. They are very random. And the book does open with one of them murders that is very horrific and gory. And it's really, really difficult to read. And then we are introduced to our main character of the book, called Larry, who is a detective. He is a husband and a father, I believe, of 2 kids, and he's very loving towards them and his wife as well. I think we know how to take Larry as he's a very nice person, but he doesn't really have any defining character traits. Yes, he doesn't take any crap from anyone, yeah, it didn't really seem to be anything memorable about his character that I can think of. It's just like a generic police officer character. So after the family that was murdered at the start of the book is brought to his attention, he has noticed or realized that he knew the family personally, and he wants to take the case and to solve the mystery of the Fog City Satan, or sorry, I thought it was the Fog City Devil, but it's the Fog City Satan, and to bring this individual to justice. So along the way, he discovers that the Fog City Satan is, or was, a member of a satanic cult that was a kind of a bunch of bad boys, and they did all these dark magic spells and ultimately trying to bring a demons or a devil from one dimension into our dimension. Along the way, he comes across a mysterious entity. It's kind of hard to actually describe, but somehow Larry gets this kind of thing attached to his hand where he can see all these shadows and figures, and even this face that appears on the palm of his hand, and the figure, or the face rather, even talks to him. He doesn't really hurt him or give him any special abilities or powers. It's just there on his hands, and I'm pretty sure that he's the only person that can actually see this. He has come into contact with people, or become aware of people that have had this ability or encounter, but through reflective services such as mirrors, windows, glass, and all that stuff. Although it doesn't really go into super detail about it, there is a reason why Larry has this entity on his hands, but I think that's kind of a spoiler. He does come into contact with a somewhat unique character who runs a witchcraft cultist shop full of this mumbo jumbo and witchy stuff. Yeah, I don't really believe in all this stuff, but yeah. Anyway, she's kind of a feisty character. She's again, no nonsense, and her and Larry kind of have this kind of, there's this sexual tension between them, but there isn't really anything romantic or anything like that between them. And the book kind of concludes with Larry hunting down the Fog City Satan and ultimately bringing them to justice. Along the way, we come across situations where, you know, his like boss doesn't want him to investigate all this supernatural stuff to the case. He wants him to like focus on the blood and bones of this person and just forget about all the magical stuff and the supernatural stuff. We find out about characters that have had this magical abilities and powers. For example, there was a one character, side character, that had the ability to control fire. Had nothing really major to do with the plot. In fact, Graham could have kind of cut that from the story and it wouldn't have any difference from, I mean, it wouldn't have had any difference from the story. The book as a whole, it was okay. It was okay. Not what I was expecting, because I was expecting, you know, basically like Red Dragon was. You know, you have this serial killer that is very delusional, and he is insane. He thinks that this devil is real, and he's going to bring him to our world, and it's going to reign supreme and conquer, and everyone's going to bow down before it and all that stuff. And then we had Larry investigating it, and with all these murders scattered throughout the book. And yeah, I thought that that's basically what I was going to get in this story. We don't really see many killings from the Fog City Satan in this book. He only kills 2 people. Yes, we find out about more of his previous killings, not to a graphic extent, but they are briefly mentioned. But the Fog City Satan only kills 2 groups of people throughout this story that is in this timeline that Larry's investigating the case. So that was very, very disappointing. I thought this book was very, very confused. It didn't really know about what it wanted to actually do. As I said, I would have liked if it was more about Larry trying to catch this killer, kind of a cat and mouse type of thing. But then we had this strange thing that was on his hands. We had this plot point with mediums trying to reach out to spirits from the other side. We had that pointless plot point where someone had supernatural superpowers, yeah, it just, I mean, it was interesting to read, but it was just very confusing. I don't know whether Graham, when he was writing this, if he didn't know what he wanted to do. I know that it seemed to be a good thing to read, but it just seemed very, very unnecessary. And the ending, of course I won't say what happens at the end, but the ending, it was a good ending, very surprising ending. Overall, it was a okay book. Hopefully I've said enough of this for this story. It's my kind of fear when I do these book reviews. I never know if I've said enough or if I haven't, or if I've said enough or if I haven't said enough. I have, as I said, I have read The Manitou and the Children That God Forgot. What I want to actually say is that Faceless Book Reviews is a Christian. Well, I mean, I'm a Christian as well. I mean, I've got 2 Bibles and a hymn book next to my bed, and but he is, and of course I believe in God and Satan and heaven and hell. But Faceless Book Reviews, he's like massively into God, and I know that he is kind of easily offended if authors talk down to God and focus on that. So apologies that I picked a book that revolves around a devil worshipping killer. The devil that the false city Satan wants to resurrect and bring into our world, it isn't really specified that it's Satan, but obviously it is the devil and Satan. So apologies do that I picked a book that focused on that. But I am pleased I read it. I am pleased I picked up another Graham book, and it hasn't put me off of reading his stories and his books. But this one wasn't that great in my personal opinion. What I'm going to rate this is probably a 3 stars out of 5. If you have read this, let me know what did you think about it. Don't forget to check out Faceless Book Reviews' video. We are planning to get this out at the same time. I know that this one's probably going to be a bit longer than his video. But yeah, but don't forget to check out his one. It will be linked down below in the description. And while you're over there, give him a subscribe as well. He's even though he doesn't show his face, he is still entertaining, and I really like watching his stuff. So that's been my review for Black Angel from Graham Masterton. What I will say is that I don't know about the black part, but Angel, there are discussions about fallen angels in the book, so that's kind of a, you know, why the book is probably called that. And the cover of the book does have a angel with a broken head on the cover. He does have wings here, but they are so dark you can't really see them. So that's been my video, guys. I better cut it off here. So with all that out of the way, I'll see you in my next one.